Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I've been putting off talking about this one for a while now. Not because I didn't want to talk about it, but because I needed to get it right. And now it's time. But before we get into that, don't forget to check this exclusive discount for it. You can find the link in both the video description and the top comment below. Alright, enough talk. Let's get right into it.
Let's start with our first reviewer's experience.
This reviewer shared their experience with their very first electric bike, and the initial impression was overwhelmingly positive. They were able to put a significant number of miles on it right away, finding that the battery life was more than sufficient for long rides, often lasting longer than their own stamina. For someone getting back into cycling, this electric bike proved to be a fantastic and enjoyable reintroduction to the activity. However, the experience wasn't without its challenges. From the start, our reviewer noted some comfort and design issues. The seat was quite uncomfortable, a problem they initially tried to solve with a padded cover before ultimately deciding a full replacement was necessary. For a taller person, the handlebars also felt too low, lacking the adjustability needed for a perfect fit. Furthermore, the absence of a rear suspension system made it clear that this model is better suited for paved paths and commuter roads rather than rugged off-road trails. With more use, a few mechanical issues surfaced. A wobble developed in the steering, though it was easily corrected by tightening a bolt. More significantly, the pedal assist system became unreliable. This required some dedicated troubleshooting, and after some guidance from the company's support, our client discovered the problem was a loose sensor and wiring connection, which they were able to fix themselves. Later, as the brakes began to wear, finding replacement pads proved difficult, suggesting a future upgrade to a more standard caliper system might be required. Despite these maintenance hurdles, this client still considers the electric bike a great deal of fun and an excellent value, successfully getting them back on the road and riding consistently.
Great! Now let's see what our next reviewer has to say about their experience.
This reviewer wanted to spend some significant time with their new electric bike before sharing their thoughts, and while they generally liked the purchase, they did encounter a few notable issues that potential buyers should be aware of. Our reviewer notes that right out of the box, the bike required some fine-tuning on the derailleurs and brakes, a task that might be difficult for someone who doesn't have a bike stand or mechanical experience. A more serious problem developed over time. After about 200 miles of riding, a persistent squeak from the front bottom bracket became too significant to ignore. Upon inspection, this client discovered the part was defective and needed a full replacement. This was not a simple fix, as it required purchasing special tools to remove the crank arms and install the new component. Our reviewer cautions that this is a purely mechanical issue, separate from the electronic systems, but it could be a major frustration for the average person, especially since many local bike shops are hesitant to work on e-bikes purchased online. To their credit, the seller did agree to reimburse the cost of the replacement part. Despite these mechanical hurdles, the performance of this electric mountain bike has been a major highlight. The battery life in particular has far exceeded expectations. Using the pedal assist mode, our reviewer can easily cover 40 miles on a single charge, which is perfect for the long, mostly flat rail trails they frequent. While they rarely use the throttle-only mode, they tested it and found the bike accelerates with ease to over 20 miles per hour. The bike's substantial weight, which could be a drawback for some, actually contributes to a very stable and solid feel on trails that have bumpy sections.
Alright, let's find out what our next reviewer has to share.
This reviewer initially faced a series of immediate challenges upon the arrival of this electric bike. Right out of the box, shipping damage was evident, specifically a bent guard over the rear derailleur which unfortunately blocked access to the bike's smaller gears. Adding to the inconvenience, the tires were completely uninflated, necessitating a mile-long walk into town just to get them ready for use. During this trek, our reviewer inadvertently twisted the throttle, causing the bike to lurch away. Since that moment, the throttle ceased to function entirely. For someone like this client, who's 65 and has copped, the ability to rely on the motor without pedaling is crucial, making this malfunction particularly frustrating. Further complicating matters, the provided manual offered no guidance for basic maintenance tasks like removing or replacing the rear wheel, let alone troubleshooting a faulty throttle. Our reviewer quickly discovered that technical details for this electric bike were scarce, and like others, found customer support to be non-existent. Due to these significant drawbacks, this client would only recommend this particular electric bike to individuals who possess a strong familiarity with both mountain bikes and electric bikes. Even a seemingly simple task like replacing a rear tube turned into a 3-hour ordeal for our reviewer, performed in their living room. After some time, our reviewer provided an update, noting that the twist throttle did eventually exhibit some limited functionality, working only in pedal assist level 0. Over approximately 6 months and more than 200 miles, primarily for a short commute, our reviewer adapted to this electric bike, acknowledging a definite learning curve. Positively, there have been no issues with the battery. However, regular use on salt-coated roads during winter did lead to rust problems, particularly affecting the chain and gears, and the front suspension now requires lubrication. Impressively, this L.
If this video helped you out, give it a like and hit subscribe for more. Got thoughts? Drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.